What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Dr. Jeremy Weisz here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders, the founders you've heard of and some you've never heard of, P90X founder Tony Horton. You know, I like to tell the stories, Bill, of like the biggest challenges in their career. And Tony Horton talked about how he made money as a street mime. And before selling hundreds of millions of dollars of P90X, he would put his head on the street, and that's how he made his food and rent money. And Baby Einstein founder Julie Clark talked about growing her company to $20 million with 5 employees and selling to Disney. But I thought the most impressive part was her beating cancer twice and her talking about that. And Atari founder Nolan Bushnell talked about how when he was Steve Jobs' mentor, Steve offered Nolan 33% of Apple for $50,000 and why he said no at the time. And all of us probably would have said no, he said, to a punk 21-year-old kid asking us for at the equivalent $400,000. So I am going to introduce today's legendary guest in a second, but this episode is brought to you by Rise 25. I co-founded it with my business partner, John Corcoran, and we help B2B businesses connect to their Dream 100 clients and referral partners by helping you run and launch your podcast so it generates ROI. It was inspired, actually, I was inspired a podcast from my grandfather, who was actually a Holocaust survivor, and him and his brother were in concentration camps in Nazi Germany, and they were the only people to survive in their family. You're wondering, how does that have to do with podcasting? Well, the Holocaust Foundation interviewed my grandfather, and his legacy lives on because of that interview. And that interview is on my About page on Inspired Insider. And it just motivates me. Yes, like podcasting can help your business, but it helps you and your guests leave a legacy of knowledge beyond us living. And I watch that interview multiple times a year, and other people do too. And so it really motivates me to help other people do the same. But I do credit podcasting to be the single best thing I've done for my business in my life because of the amazing relationships I've made. So if you have questions, I think everyone, like Bill would say right now, anyone who's a chiropractor, a dentist, or any professional should have a website and digital communication, because that's the ultimate way to communicate. I think every business should have a podcast. So if you have questions, email us support@rise25media.com. And I want to thank Josh Long for introducing me to today's guest. And you can check out his Audible and Amazon, his book on Audible and Amazon, Bottleneck Breakthrough. I've listened to it, loved it. If you want to find out how to fix your number one business challenge, unlock growth fast, which who doesn't, check out his book. Like who doesn't want to eliminate bottlenecks from their business, right? And so I'm going to let Bill talk in a second, but you know, he needs no introduction. He's legendary in the chiropractic marketing education world. He's been helping chiropractors even before 1987, but 1987, I think, formally. And I've been studying his materials and his knowledge and education and marketing for over 20 years myself. And he just boils down complex things into very simple ways to communicate. And it's groundbreaking for any profession. So I say, I don't care what profession you're in, if you're in dentistry, chiropractic, anything, see how he actually creates education and knowledge to help people understand complex things. So he has founder of Backtalk Systems, which are like his report findings magazettes that he invented. I was reading and over and over and over. He's founded Patient Media, Perfect Patients, and also Smile Marketing for dentists. So not just chiropractors and other professions too. So Bill, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I always ask because it's an Inspired Insider, and you talked about like a really low moment for you as you were going on those runs and how you pushed through that. So I appreciate you sharing that. On the flip side, what's been a especially proud moment for you on this journey?
No, I'm not sure that I would call it pride, because the fall comes after that. But what was particularly inspiring for me happened a year ago. almost a little over a year ago now. I have had a really good friend, chiropractor in Yakima, Washington, James Milliron, and he and I and his wife Gina, we met when we were both involved in speaking on a seminar in Surfers Paradise, Queensland, Australia. It's a wonderful place, just as great as it sounds. And we were doing a seminar there, and we got to know each other, and we became fast friends. This was 1988. And so he was kind of a sounding board for me in terms of chiropractic, and he was a special person who passed away a year ago, September. And I was one of 7 individuals who was invited to share a few words, which I'd never done before at a life celebration meeting. Which isn't the point, but what was the point was that because of James's service, because of his heart, because of his love for people and service to patients, for his life ceremony, they had to rent the convention center in Yakima, Washington.
Wow.
For the 500 people in that community that showed up to say thank you and goodbye. And that has stayed with me ever since. And gosh, if I could ever wield that sort of influence and to share that much love with that many people, I mean, that'd be a full life. And that's what I keep my eye on now.
What was a lesson you learned from him?
Live life to the full, because life is a gift. He would say life is a gift. I mean, that was his deal. And his dinner table always had a guest. He just grabbed life to the full. And he was a Renaissance man. He was a poet. He was a horseman. He was a sailor. He was a chiropractor. He was a wine aficionado. He just was gentle, and he was a chiropractor's chiropractor.
Bill, I'm going to be the first one to thank you. Everyone should check out patientmedia.com. They should check out perfectpatients.com and also smilemarketing.com. Any other places we should point people to online? If you are a dentist or a chiropractor and you actually want some like almost done for you stuff to actually, convert and help your practice, check out those sites. Any other places, Bill, we should point people?
Well, I would love to have a conversation with anyone who's made it through this hour, and I'm extremely available and would love to get your emails and questions, and we'll talk. I'm here to serve.
Should we just point people to the contact on the website or
Sure.
a specific email?
Yeah, or just Bill at patientmedia.com. I mean, or Bill at perfectpatients.com or Bill at smilemarketing.com. Same deal.
Cool.
So,
Bill, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
thank you.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like $100 grand.